Welcome to the EmpowerHer Wellness Podcast. I'm Morgan, and I'm thrilled to be your host and wellness coach as we navigate the path to a healthier, more confident you. As the owner of Get Fit With Me, I bring years of experience in personal training, nutrition, and coaching to each episode. Join me as we explore practical tips and strategies for fitness, nutrition, mindset, and more, all tailored for busy women just like you. Let's empower your wellness journey and achieve lasting transformation together. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to an episode of the EmpowerHer Wellness Podcast. I'm your host and coach, Morgan Ekovich. And today we're going to start talking about why you need to stop doing random workouts. And this has been something that I have seen so many people, especially now that we're through January. Everybody went to the gym, which I'm super, super proud of. All those people who've showed up and you are continuing to show up. You are building consistency. You are building routine. The one thing, though, is we show up, we build the consistency, we build a routine, but we're just doing these random workouts, and then we wonder why we're not seeing progress, why we're not getting stronger or leaner, or our body's not changing, whatever it is. And there is a reason for that. And that's why we need to start following a program. So we're going to dive in. I've got a lot. We're going to try not to make today too long of an episode, but this is something I'm super passionate about because this is something I've been working with clients for a while on, in the sense of I've taught group fitness, I've coached one-on-one, and there is always some sort of progression that happens. It's really hard in a group fitness class because if you want somebody to follow the same thing, depending on their frequency, there's so many unknown variables. But when you're working with a client one-on-one, if you and I are working together and we are sitting down and we're creating a program, it is so important that we create a program that you can follow for 4 to 12 weeks. And I'm going to dive into what that means and why that's important. But before we even get there, I want to acknowledge that there are two phases. There's that first phase, like I mentioned. You've just started going to the gym. You're starting to build that consistency. You're starting to build that routine. Right there, I just want you to move your body. This episode will be when you hit that next step. So I want you to still stick here and I want you to listen, but I want you to acknowledge that you're not in this portion yet. You're just building that consistency. You're welcome to jump to this portion, but if you're just kind of trying to figure out what type of movement is best for you, stick here. Stick with where you are right now. You're just moving. You're showing up and you're moving. You're building that routine. There's some of you who are going to fall into phase number 2. You've built the consistency. You've built the routine. You have noticed that, in all honesty, nothing's really changing. Your body's not changing. Your weight's not changing. You're not getting any stronger. You're lifting the same weight every time you go in. You're changing up your workouts too much. And you're just like, what's happening? This is where the importance of training with purpose comes into play. So when we train with purpose, we are not doing those random workouts anymore. We are finding a program and we are sticking with it. So let's dive in. So I've got a few reasons on why random workouts stall your progress. Number 1, your body adapts through repetition. So if you are not practicing the same move over and over again, how do you know if you're actually getting better? Number 2, if movements, weights, reps, and intensity are all changing all of the time, we cannot track our progress. We cannot track progressive overload. We cannot determine, is our weight increasing? Are we feeling more controlled? Is our depth getting better? All of those variables that come in that make us stronger and allow our body to actually change how we want it to change. The other thing is, when we're doing all these random things, how do we know what's actually working? If we have too many things, it's kind of like when you go into the new year and you decide to change your sleep habits, change your nutrition, change your exercise, decide you're no longer going to eat sugar. You've just changed so many variables. 1, it's going to be hard to stay consistent. But 2, how do you know which one's actually working? So you don't know what's actually working when there are so many variables being changed. If you're changing your workouts, you're changing your intensity, you're changing your weight, you're changing all of these things. There's too many variables being changed. So you don't actually know what's actually working. Random workouts equal lots of effort with very little direction. And honestly, they are so hard on the decision fatigue. If one of those barriers for you with workouts is, or showing up to the gym is having to figure out your workout, you are doing yourself a disservice by just following something random that you see on social media, on Pinterest, whatever you see, because you are not doing it consistently. What a program does is it helps take that decision fatigue off. It helps you know exactly what you are going in for every single time. It gives you workouts with a goal. So the goal of the workout, for instance, I'm in a strength program right now. The goal of this workout is for me to get stronger. What that means is I'm going to be honest, I've tried the strength program a few times. I got through month 1 and I would always get through month 1 and I would be like, and then I wouldn't go on to month 2 or month 3. That's not the case. I am now on month 2. I'm halfway through month 2 right now. And it is crazy what happens to your body and to your mind when you do not have to decide what workout you're doing every single time you walk into that space, whether it's your basement or a gym. For you to be able to walk in, know what your goal is, have direction, know exactly what your workout is. It allows you to build strength over time. It allows you to increase your weights, your reps, and your control. So that's the other thing is, for instance, the first month of this program, that first workout. So there was 4 workouts a week. Workout number 1 had rear foot elevated split squats. When I started, I've done rear foot elevated split squats for years. I know how to do them. I feel confident in the movement, but it'd been a really long time since I'd circulated them back in. So that first week, my weight was really light. I think I used a 10-pounder. Well, by the time the second week came around, I felt more confident in the move. It moved up to a 15 and then so on and so forth, slowly progressed. Yes, there was a time in the month where my weight went down because it was my time of the month. And I just don't feel as great during that time of the month. Typically, none of us do. So that being said, there's going to be some of those fluctuations that happen. But for the most part, when we are showing up consistently, doing the same workout week after week for 4 to 12 weeks, we are going to feel stronger. We are going to be stronger. We're going to notice that our weight has increased and maybe your reps have gone down, but that weight's gone. Or maybe you've kept your weight the same and your reps have gone. And that's where you can start to notice that depending on the program you're part of, you will find that, well, if my reps get to here, my weight for sure needs to go up. Typically, programs give you a range. Any program I give you, there will be a range. It'll be like 8 to 12. If in the beginning I'm getting going and I can only get to 8 with no weight, that's where I'm going to work my way up in reps first, and then I'm going to add some weight into there. It all is based on the movement, how comfortable you feel, but I'm able to track that. It's also going to bring down that decision fatigue, like I mentioned, and it's going to build that confidence. Imagine showing up for a workout and being given a rear foot elevated split squat. If you don't know what that is where you are essentially walk yourself out from a bench. You put one foot on the bench, your other foot stays planted, and you lower your knee kind of like a lunge, essentially what it is, down to the ground, and you come back up. So it's a split squat, but your foot's elevated, and you hold a weight. If you've never done that movement before, you're going to feel awkward. You're going to feel uncomfortable. Your balance is going to be all over the place. You're not going to know where to hold your weight. And imagine if you just did that once. Are you going to go back to that? Probably not, because none of us like to do things we're not good at. The program also had curtsy lunges. I had not done curtsy lunges in forever. Personally, freaking hate curtsy lunges. But it's in the program and I trusted the process. Every single week I got stronger. My balance got better. It's just a move I wasn't comfortable with. Did I have resistance to want to do it? Absolutely. But did I continue to do it? Yes. Did maybe I choose a little bit lighter weight than I could have been doing? Yes. But that's okay. I still showed up and I did the work. So that is what a program does, is it helps you have a goal in mind. It allows you to see what is working and what is not. And with this program, it requires tracking. And that is, I think, part of the reason why people just do random workouts. But I also believe that's why people get so frustrated and why working out is not working for them, is because they are just doing random workouts and they don't know what their weights are. They don't know what their reps are. They don't have any concept of what it looks like, because we can make it too challenging or we can make it a mind block. Tracking can be very minimal. It can say, I did this. You can be a list of your exercises, your reps, and the size dumbbell you used. Easy. I don't need more details. I don't necessarily need to know the ins and out of how you felt pre and post workout, all of that. No, you know that. You know your schedule. You know when your time of the month is and when your weights may be a little lower and when your weights may be a little higher because you feel better. But Tracking our weights and our reps is required when we are following a program, because how do we know that we're getting better unless we track? We are going to see these trends not over days, but over weeks. Like I said, from week to week, I could see an improvement. I could see when I did not improve that week. Okay, then I can look at my life. What was going on? How did I feel myself? Did I get a good enough sleep? What other factors were involved? If nothing is tracked, nothing can be adjusted. And this applies to all aspects of life. First thing I have anybody do when we were working together, eating wise, nutritional wise, you keep a food log. I need to figure out what you are eating first before I go and say, oh, eat more vegetables. You may be eating a ton of vegetables. Why would I tell you to eat more? We need to track for a certain amount of time to at least get a baseline. Same thing goes when it comes to our workouts. We need to be able to track our progress. Okay. Even with your random workouts, tracking your weight, start there. If you're not ready for a full program because you're like, no, I still like my randoms, that's okay. We all are at different stages in this fitness journey. But what I want you to remember is tracking is going to allow you to show up and take some of that decision fatigue out of it. I use My Coach for myself. All of my programs are in My Coach. It's super awesome. It's super easy and convenient. So you go in, you open your workout, you push start workout, you've got an entire list. So all of my exercises for the day, as well as my reps and my sets, are there. So I know when I walk into the gym what type of things I need. Okay, am I going to the squat room? Am I going to the stretch room? Where am I going for today's workout? And then I push start workout, and it's broken down into movements. And then there's a button that says add set. I can see the history of what my previous sets were. And then I can add my new set. It tells me my rest. It tells me everything, and it is all tracked in this little app on my phone. So I'm not having to carry a notebook to the gym with me. Don't get me wrong. I love being a pen and paper girl. But like having this on my phone, being able to listen to my music and knowing that I can pop my AirPods in and carry this with me and have my workout and have no decisions at all I got to do is look back at what my last lift was. Okay, how did that think back or make notes of like, did that feel easy, hard? Great, let's increase weight. Let's keep it where it is. Things like that. It makes it so easy. And if I can track it, then I can adjust it. You cannot improve what you don't measure, even if it's measuring loosely. You have to measure so that you know how to improve and you know where to adjust. So the next part of this, and I have been working with clients for a really long time, and this is one that when you are following a nutrition program or a plan, or you're following a workout plan, whatever it is, you have to trust the process. As I said earlier, you are not going to see progress from day to day. You're going to see progress from week to week, maybe even month to month, depending on what you are focusing on. So you have to trust the process. You have to know that the person you are following is educated, that they have done their job, and that you just have to follow. It doesn't have to be the perfect program. You just have to follow a good program. When you trust the process, you have to remember that results are going to happen over weeks, phases, and repeated effort. So if you do something once, I love the memes that are like the little boy doing sit-ups and he's like, where are my abs? Like, we have such an instant gratification mind that to actually slow down and do something for 4 to 12 weeks is like mind-boggling for us. We get bored, which I will touch on here in a bit. Boredom is not a bad sign. It is about building consistency. Program hopping, when we hop from program to program and we do those randomized workouts, that's impatience, that's comparison, that's expecting change fast. If that is where you are, we have to focus on our mindset. We have to notice that, yeah, I want to do something different. I'm not seeing the results as fast as I want to see them. I want to do something different. Notice it. Really notice it and say, yeah, I'm feeling that way. But then go back and say, I need to trust the process. I need to continue to show up. X, Y, and Z will happen. I will get stronger. I will get more confident. I need to trust the process. The magic isn't in finding the perfect program. There's so many coaches out there. And that is why it's important that you follow an actual certified personal trainer who knows how to rate programs, who has gone to school, who has done their certifications, so that you know you are working with somebody accredited. Magic isn't in finding the perfect program. It's in sticking with a good one long enough. And I always do research. I buy other coaches' programs because I don't like to program for myself. I do it for my clients. Don't get me wrong. I will program for myself every once in a while when I'm creating a new, like we did a 90-day strength program a couple of summers ago. That was a lot of fun. We did it together. But if it's just me in the gym on my own, I'm going to purchase somebody else's because it is a lot of work to build a program. And I would rather spend the time building a program for you than I would for me to build it for myself, because each program is specific to you as an individual. So trust the process. Trust it. It's one of those where we look and we're like, oh, this is going to be so easy. Yeah, it is. Until you get impatient, until you get bored, until you don't see that change as quickly as you would hope to see. So what committing looks like, that is one program for 4 to 12 weeks. And depending on the program, some of them are 4 weeks, some are 6, some are 8, some are 12. Every program's different. The one that I follow is a 5-week program. So that being said, I'm somewhere in between. Every coach has their own stuff. I'm in a current one that it's every 5 weeks. So for me, what that looks like is I have 2 lower body days and I have 2 upper body days per week. And I do that same workout for 5 full weeks in a row. Once that is done, I get a whole nother set of workouts. During those 5 weeks, I get to see, where did I start? Where did the strength come from? Where did the control? How are my reps? I get to see that progress in those 5 weeks. The longer you do something, the more progress you will see. I have a little bit of I get a little antsy. So that's why a 12-week program is a little too long for me if it's just 12 weeks of the same workouts. Sometimes a 12-week program is like every 4 weeks you get a new set. Coaches write their things a little bit differently. So just be aware of what you are looking at. Personally, I like 4 to 6 weeks when I'm writing for clients. Most of them are 4, partly because I can get clients on board for 4 weeks, and then we do another 4 weeks, then we do another, and then we go back to that first set. Because I want to see, now that we've created some differences, how did that first workout feel like? So, and I can show you all this. We work on this in our 90-day Kickstart program. We create baselines for nutrition. We create baselines in programming for our strength, for our sleep, for all of these things, so that you can be successful not just in your health and fitness, but in your overall life. I want you to feel confident in the gym, in the kitchen, when you go to bed, with your stress, with your family. I want you to feel confident everywhere. And in 90 days, we build that foundation. We build that foundation. We build those habits, and we get you in the process of showing up and doing the work and not doing random workouts so that you can get stronger. If you're like, I've already got my workout base done, I need the other stuff, that's okay. We work on the accountability aspect of your workouts that you're doing with somebody else, but we still work on your nutrition. We still work on your habits. We deep dive into any of those other areas. The awesome part about the 90-day Kickstart, it is 100% customized to you. I'm not giving Sarah and Jen the exact same program. There's overlap. Like, both of you need to drink water, but Jen may need 90 ounces and Sarah may need 50 ounces based on what their current baseline is. So it's about finding those baselines, building those routines, and building it up over time. And it gets boring. It gets boring. I'm going to tell you what. But that is the important part. Committing to whatever you're doing for your health and wellness is about it getting boring. It's going to get boring at some point. It's about doing the same lifts, doing the same structure, doing the same progressions, continuing to drink the water, continuing to eat the veggies, things like that. Bored does not mean ineffective. It actually means you're being more effective. You are going to see greater gains in the long run. One of the things that I love about it is when I feel bored with something, I am no longer overwhelmed with it. There's no overwhelm. There's no anxiousness. There's no, I have so much on my plate. No, it's just there and it's happening. It's also about building mastery. If I can sit here and I can do something and I can be bored by it, and not bored in the sense of like, oh, this is so boring, I don't want to sit here. We know that feeling, like you're sitting somewhere. No, bored and like, yeah, I've been doing the same thing over and over and over again. You are building mastery in that. Like, you are mastering a skill. You are mastering something that is going to take you, your body, and your brain to the next level. How freaking amazing does that feel? Imagine doing a program for 4, 6, 8, 12 weeks, whatever it is, doing a program and getting to the end and being able to say, I showed up for every single workout, every single week, and look at how strong I got. Look at my weights and how they increased. Tell me how great that would feel. If you've never had that feeling before and you are looking for that, we need to find you a program. I need to write you a program. And we're going to do that in our 90-day Kickstart. And we've only got 3 spots here for the month. And then we're going to shut the doors for a couple months. So if you're interested, please go check out the show notes. In there is my email, morganekovich-morganekovich.com. Email me the word Kickstart and I will reach out to you. We'll set up a call. We'll do all those things and let's get you going. Let's get that nutrition program set as well as that strength program set. And then we'll start building those habits around it. So remember, if you are already showing up, then the next step is to do things with more intention. Remember when I started, there was 2 phases. There was the phase where we're just getting started and we're just learning how to get consistent with showing up for ourselves in general. If that is where you are, I'm so freaking proud of you for taking that step and showing up because that is hard. That first step is hard. The next hardest step is this. Is to step into something uncomfortable, is to step into something that you know is going to probably be a little boring over time. And to sit with it and to notice it and to say, it is okay. It is allowing me to be stronger physically and mentally over time. It is not a bad thing. It is a good thing. So I want you to think back through today's episode. What type of workouts are you doing? Are you part of a program or are you doing random workouts? Which category are you currently sitting in? And is there a category you want to move to? If you are ready to move to those programmed workouts, send me a message, morgan@getfitwithme-morganekovich.com. Send me a message with the word Kickstart and let's get it started. Let's get you in a program that helps you gain strength, changes that body so that you actually are seeing some of the changes that you've been working so hard to find. So I hope you guys have a fantastic February. We are already here kicking off the 2nd month of the year. This year is already flying by. I hope you have a fantastic day and I will see you all next Thursday. Thank you for tuning in to the EmpowerHer Wellness Podcast. I hope you found today's episode inspiring and packed with actionable tips. Remember, your journey to becoming the strongest, most confident version of yourself is just beginning. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode and join our community of empowered women. Until next time, stay strong and stay confident.